evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Rise.
Hello, and one more time, hello. Welcome to The Rise Online. I'm one of your hosts, Andre Ross, and...
Hey, everyone. I'm Caleb.
And?
I'm Avery. Hi.
So, for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, we want to say welcome, right? We love when new people join us. So just say hi, shoot us your first name so we can say hi back to you. So tonight we have a cool, what do you call this episode? I guess show tonight. We're going to be talking about missions, but we're going to talk about it from a very personal standpoint. So Avery will be sharing some of the missions trips she's gone on, and what the Bible says about missions and some takeaway from it. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my man Caleb. He's going to share a few announcements with you guys before we continue.
Yeah, like normal, just covering up. There's been a murder. Just covering some little just housekeeping type things. First off, if you're wondering, as we're doing this, if we are actually like 6 feet apart and socially distance, we actually are. We're at least 6 feet apart. We're keeping it safe, and we're just trying to be as responsible as we can while we do this. Also, if you don't know, we have an email, which we say every week, but just in case you forgot, we have an email which you can connect with us through if you have any questions about what we talk about on the show, or maybe you just have a suggestion, or like if you want an encouragement, or I don't know, maybe you don't have encouragement. I don't know. You could definitely email us there at wbicstudents@gmail.com. Again, that is wbicstudents@gmail.com.
Yeah, we love emails.
Yes, we do. Okay. He didn't sound like it, but we love hearing from you. So yeah, if you want to do that, you definitely can. We also have our Instagram page, so give us a follow at WBIC Youth, and we also encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at WBIC Students, which is where we're at right now. Yeah. I think that's about it.
So we just want to give a few shout outs. Let's see who's on so far. We got Brady.
Yeah.
What up, Brady? He was our winner last week.
Yes.
Right? It was a close match between him and Isaiah.
Very close.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Adela on. Hey, Adela. What up, Yvette? Noah.
You talk to your mom with those lips?
Yes, I do. Jocelyn, welcome. Ember. Who else do we have on? Aiden. We have a few other people chiming on right now. So as you guys are coming on, just say hello or give a wave. So, how was you guys' week?
Oh, it was good. Caught me off guard.
Just kind of throw her on the spot.
Right there. So it was pretty good. Anything fun, different?
Well, I got to prepare the message, so that was pretty fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
So fun.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm
she's
fired
excited.
up.
She's fired up to share
Yes.
about her experiences in the mission field. How about you, Caleb?
I had a nice, relaxing weekend.
Yeah.
My Lauren, my wife, was working most of the weekend.
Is that why it was relaxing?
No, but like I got to I don't know, like when we both have a weekend off, I tried to make sure like we spent some time together and like we go do activities, but I got to like nap and stuff because she's working. Which is good, but which I don't always do because like I feel like it's a waste of time sometimes. My own personal preference. I don't know. I like to go out and do things, but it was a good, relaxing weekend. I really enjoyed it. How about you?
This weekend was cool. Caleb, myself, and another guy, we go biking quite a bit, mountain biking. So it rained out this weekend, so we didn't go. So I stayed home. I did go biking though. I did a 40K, but on the trail.
I did 15K on Sunday.
Yeah, nice,
which was fun.
But I took a nap for the first time in about 2 to 3 years.
Those are the best naps.
Yeah, I just said, you know what? I was watching some cartoons and I fell asleep. I was
Treat
that
yourself.
tired. Treat myself. And I woke up so energized. I'm like, why don't I do this more often? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I remembered I'm always busy. So,
Well, but even like 20 minutes or 30 minute naps.
No, but this was like a 3 hour, like,
Yeah.
3 hour
full-
Wow.
The kids didn't bother me. The wife didn't. They just let me be because they know.
The
right?
wife bothers you? Wow.
Wow, you're gonna get me in trouble today.
Someone has to.
So, you guys can let us know how was your weekend if you want to throw some stuff in there, and we could talk about it. But while we're doing that tonight, again, we have another Tim Hortons card on the line.
And how much money is that?
This one is just $5 too.
Just $5?
Oh, wow.
$5. All right. It's a low budget show, so deal with it.
Plus, Tim Hortons still hasn't sponsored us.
Yeah, once they start sponsoring us, Tim Hortons.
Big money. Big money.
Yeah, big money. All right, so on the line tonight, we have a cool game that we're going to play afterwards. But
Yes.
to get our brains warmed up and to see what everyone's thinking, we're going to play a little bit Would You Rather? That's my special
We should
effects
make
there.
an actual thing
Yeah,
for
well,
that.
I think you should get on that, Caleb.
Okay, we'll do. I'm not kidding.
All right, so we're going to play some Would You Rather, right? And I hope I pick some really good ones here. All right, so first one. Dun, dun, dun. Would you rather be able to read minds
Ooh.
or be invisible? Would you rather be able to read minds or be invisible? Is there a special effect you can do to make me go invisible? No?
Yes.
Just change the screen.
There you go.
So once again, would you rather be able to read minds or go invisible?
Oh, man.
Let's see. So you guys think about that. That's a tough one. Read minds.
Thing is, they're both a bit tricky
Yeah.
because either one you could sort of.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
So, like all the time, you can just like I would like every minute of every day. I'm like, oh, I know what Andre's thinking.
You can turn it. You can turn it on and off.
Oh, okay.
On and off if you like.
Okay.
So we have some coming in. Adela says go invisible. Isaiah says go invisible. Be invisible forever or control. Oh, someone's asking the same question. No,
Yeah.
you can control it. It's
It's
like
a good
a
question.
superpower.
It's a good question.
So if I want to go invisible now, I go invisible. Like my special effects.
Wait, I got you. Oh, wait.
Visible. Hey. Top of the line stuff going on here.
Yeah, we don't play around.
We don't play around.
But like, I feel like it's a tricky thing because they're both like you could hear about what people are thinking about you
Technically-
behind your back
Technically, yeah.
Oh, that's
with
true.
either one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of tricky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Okay, so we have a few people saying invisible. We have Jocelyn says read minds. I don't want Jocelyn to be able to read minds. Adela says, okay, because you can see what people are doing if you're invisible. Right? So let me throw it out to you guys. Avery, what would you do? What would you rather have? Invisibility or read minds?
I would probably want to read minds.
Read minds. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Any particular reason why?
I just think it'd be interesting just to, I don't know, if you want to see where someone's at, just what's he thinking? Did he just tell the truth?
Yeah, okay.
Also, I think it'd be interesting with the whole mind reading thing is you get to hear what people think, like just off, like if they're just walking, like just like in those moments where like you're,
Walking down the
you're
street.
wondering if you think the same things when like you're just walking down the street as
Yeah,
other people.
yeah.
You can actually find that out
Okay.
That would be entertaining.
in those
yeah.
ambient moments. Yeah. I don't know. What would you do, Andy?
Oh, this is a good. Before I give my answer, Amber says she would rather go invisible. Reading minds could eventually make you go insane.
Yeah.
If you can't do it properly.
It'd be a huge mental health
reading
Oh.
people's
like
minds.
issue.
Yeah,
But you
that's
can
true.
turn it on and off.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would totally go for reading minds. And here's why.
Okay.
Even if you're invisible, infrared, you can still see you. Right? If you have
Can
infrared,
you?
Yeah, infrared glasses, you see the heat of your body. Right?
But you're invisible, so like your heat's invisible.
Yeah, but you can still see the heat Well,
but like the common, the,
you still be warm.
the typical person wouldn't have
You're
an
still alive.
infrared.
No, that's
gun.
right. That's right. The typical
Yeah.
person would have an infrared. But I think reading minds because one, I could be a really cool FBI agent or CSIS
Yeah.
agent.
Yeah,
They
you could
kill
do a
them.
lot of good that way.
You know, reading
You
minds.
could be a
and stuff.
magician.
Technically.
Yeah.
Still need a quick
Yeah.
hands, but
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a interesting. I think if I was I think I would go with invisibility
invisibility.
because like you get a lot of money that way. Like if
Okay.
I'm not condoning robbing banks. I'm not condoning robbing anything. Like
Okay.
don't. But if I were to do that,
But you can read people's minds. You might be able to get. We're going down a dark path.
But
I was
like-
gonna say you could get combinations from their
Yeah,
minds, but I
I
don't know why
know.
we're going down this path.
okay,
Whoa.
okay.
It's
It's a trick. But the thing is, like, any benefit I feel like to being invisible is like all illegal. Like, like you could get into movie theaters for free, like all these things.
That is
right?
true. That is true.
But it's all stuff you should not do.
Our
Don't.
next in-person youth event is breaking into a movie theater.
No.
All right.
Okay.
That was a good one, actually. A good debate. Here's another one. This was, I think it's a little bit simpler. Would you rather eat pizza for every meal
Ooh.
or ice cream for every meal?
Oh, that's
Oh.
so easy.
Pizza for every
What
meal.
kind
or
of ice cream?
Your choice.
Can we choose what kind of pizza? Can we
Yeah.
wait? But can we switch up what type of pizza?
Oh,
that we eat?
interesting.
Yeah, you can
Slash
switch
what
up the
what,
meat, yeah.
what ice cream
Hawaiian for like breakfast.
Yeah.
for breakfast? That's the one you'd pick for breakfast.
It has fruit on
That's
it.
fruit on it.
Uh,
So, would it be pizza or would it be ice cream? And you can change it up however you want, but every meal.
What do you think?
Oh, that's so easy. Pizza.
Pizza every meal?
Yeah, I love pizza.
Okay. All right.
Wait, is that all you eat? Because like you can't, like you could not have a diet of just ice cream for the
Well,
rest
you
of your
can't
life.
have a diet of just
Yeah, you
pizza.
can. You
Of
totally
just
can.
pizza?
It has all the food groups.
Okay, let's say you eat it for every meal, but you can have like, I don't know, some salad on the side, but every meal it's pizza or every meal you're having ice cream with whatever, right? But every meal.
I feel like I could live off of pizza.
Yeah.
I think if I ate ice cream every meal, I'd probably be sick.
Okay. So let's see. A lot of people are saying pizza. Justin says ice cream. Interesting.
Did you
Brady
expect
said,
that?
That's a good question.
We should do like you know that wedding game where like
Oh,
you ask
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah the
Yes.
spouse
totally
like
not
you ask the difference
the shoe
yeah
game.
yeah or the shoe game
Yes.
yeah where like you ask the like each other like
Yeah.
the two spouses
Yeah.
like different
should-
questions.
I'd see what
We
it's
should do that for a youth night.
Yeah, we should.
It'd be
We could.
hilarious.
Battle of the couples.
Yeah, battle of the couples, battle royale.
Yeah. Okay, so lots of pizzas. Noah said ice cream. Brady says ice cream. Justin says ice cream. Adela says which? Too much dairy in ice cream.
That is very true.
I know. Okay, your
what-
toilet visits every day.
I think the same for pizza. That's a lot of bread. Like,
but
you know,
yeah, but like
well,
the-
I'm like borderline lactose intolerant, so maybe ice
that
cream
solves
isn't good.
that. That solves
slash. But can you change the breading up? Like, could you go for
Oh, the
cauliflower?
Yes, that's
that.
a,
Sure, why
you
not?
can have a dessert pizza.
Slash, you could go for like cheese
You
that's
can,
like
they make
lactose free, cheese.
True. Isaiah says here, let's see,
And there's
ice cream.
the gourmet pizzas that are actually like
Those are-
pretty
Yeah, they're
fancy.
pretty
like
nice.
a margarita
I
pizza.
guess.
Yeah, like the wood stove or like the
Yes.
fire or I don't know, stone.
Isaiah doesn't want
I
to
don't know.
constantly get his mouth numb by eating ice cream all the time.
Okay,
That's
fair
a good
enough.
point.
What would you have? Well, you said
Yeah, I said pizza.
Avery said pizza.
Yeah,
What
I
about
would
you?
go pizza. Like I'm a huge pizza
Yeah.
fan.
I'm-
It depends on the pizza though.
Yeah.
Like I used to love like Domino's and like Twice the Deal and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
now I'm kind of getting sick of it.
Really, eh?
I know. I'm
I
getting
like
real
the
picky about my
pizza one. They make some really,
Really?
off the cuff pizzas. I
Yeah,
really
that's
like.
true. That's true.
really like.
Yeah,
So-
they do.
I
They
think I
do.
could live off of pizza every day.
Totes.
Okay.
And all the food groups.
Yeah, and you could
That's
put
true.
vegetables in there. You could put a veggie.
Well, you
pizza.
can make it less like unhealthy too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
less greasy. You
True.
can make it into like with cauliflower and like broccoli. You could put all that in there. Red onion,
I love
Oh,
how we're
a
having a
pesto?
huge debate about pizza.
a pesto pizza.
Oh, I
Have
love
you ever-
pesto
Oh,
pe-
pizza.
pesto
Yeah.
pizzas.
Amazing.
Mm.
Sorry,
You
guys. I know we're not talking a lot about ice cream.
Do you,
but
know what's really funny? Before we came on the air,
yes.
Andy was like, I don't know if we should do Would You Rather because we end up getting into these these things where we talk too much.
Huge debate. But that's okay. It creates for good discussion.
Yeah.
I think we have time for one more.
Maybe.
We're gonna try to do 4, but I guess that's not gonna happen. Let's try to do us. Oh, okay. This is a controversial one.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather have small hands or big feet?
I already have big feet.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you call those big feet? Well, compared to us, it's probably small.
Well, for a woman, my feet. I have like an 8 or 9 size foot.
Wait, small hands or big feet?
Yeah.
Like
Small
how
hands.
small?
Like, let's say abnormally small hands or abnormally big feet.
Like like feet like this long?
Sure, size 15 and a half. Or
Like
bigger.
clown shoe feet?
No.
Or just
that's-
15? Like 15 is
I would say
is clown
like
shoe.
uncomfortably big feet or
Uncomfortably
uncomfortably
big.
small hands. Like freakishly small hands or freakishly big feet. So
That's
let's
a
see.
tricky one.
Justin says small hands like a little monkey. Well, monkeys technically have proportionate hands.
Yeah,
right?
technically.
Adela says small feet. Oh, sorry, small hands.
I would
Okay.
do small hands.
small hands.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
cheaper.
Cheaper.
Like if you want gloves, oh my goodness, if you can get extra small gloves,
Yeah.
oh you save some money.
A lot of money.
Where
Probably-
like
probably
the
easier to keep
shoes
warm,
though,
too.
the shoes you'd have to get custom shoes,
True.
which like
True.
I'm not down for. Are you down for that?
No, I'm not. I have mixed feelings about my feet because they're very skinny, but they're very long.
Very
So
long.
it's very hard to find shoes for them. So
Interesting. So you know the struggle.
Yes.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
So are you saying that like you would choose big feet because you already have big feet?
Wait, so is it big feet or small hands? Is that
Big
That-
feet or
that's the
small
question.
hands? Freakishly small hands or really big feet?
I would probably go with hands. I don't know.
Small hands? Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So let's see what everyone else is saying. So Adela says small hands. Brady says small hands. Isaiah says big feet. Then I can jump higher. I don't
Ooh.
think feet makes you jump higher.
But what
if
could you do-
tiptoe, you
Think
can
about
get
what
higher.
you could do
Oh.
with big feet though.
If it's really big, you could almost, if you run really fast, maybe skate on water for like 2 seconds. I don't know.
Yeah.
Imagine getting like kicked by someone with his feet that big.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe
a
you'd be
good
better at
goalie.
soccer.
Noah says small hands. Xavier says, why can't I have big hands?
Yeah.
Those are the options, buddy.
I'd rather have
Small
big
hands or big feet.
I agree
But
with
a little
them.
monkey would have smaller hands and I can reach in tiny space.
Mm.
Oh,
That is
that's a
true.
good.
That is
that's
true.
That's a
a
good
point.
point.
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
so
those jars are so annoying when you can't like just fit, especially when you're washing dishes.
yeah.
Oh my goodness! Like sometimes, like we have these cups. These maybe you have them at home, but these Coca-Cola cups where like they kind of are shaped like a bottle, like where they kind of they're like bigger on top and then they go in like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
like you can't fit anything,
Anything
in
in
there.
there.
Like if I had small hands,
problem
I
solved.
would be the best dishwasher ever.
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 So you're a small hands guy.
Oh,
Team small hands.
Team
Yeah.
small hands. How about
Sounds
you? You're
weird.
small hands.
Yes.
You know, because I'm Dutch and I'm cheap, I'm gonna go with
yeah.
the small hands.
Yes.
Because the big
Yes.
feet, I could see that being a real problem. Getting
Oh.
shoes and
That'd be expensive.
You go through shoes so fast.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
Lauren has a cousin who like has larger feet and he has to get custom shoes.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, I think Limburg, he has size 15s. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
It's
my
hard to
goodness.
find.
yeah, it's hard to find.
Yep. Especially like just like normal shoes that you want.
Yeah.
And also like it just doesn't look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have size 10 feet, which is I wouldn't say is big, It's
pretty
average.
Yeah.
It's average for a guy. But like, I sometimes wish I had smaller feet because like I think like in certain shoes it just looks better.
True.
Yeah.
Right?
True. That is true. Especially
So-
like when you're wearing some like you have
Yeah.
a
Something nice.
a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
And then you have
Especially dress shoes. I agree. Dress shoes are the worst that way.
Yeah.
They always look bigger than they are.
True. Okay, so
See, that's exactly
that
how I
was
feel
some
about
real
my feet.
pointless but
Yeah.
deep debate.
There you go.
So-
Not saying sorry. Not saying anything bad about big feet.
Oh no.
Just make that
yes, we want to
clear.
make that clear. We're not knocking big
I'm
feet
just
or
like
small
I'm
hands.
trying to empathize. I think that's more what I'm doing.
All right. So now that we've gone into some real deep debates about
Oh goodness.
things that, yeah, we're going to pass it off to Avery, and she's going to be talking a little bit about missions and put a personal spin on it about some of the missions trips that she's been on and what she's learned from it and some of the things that she's done on it. All right. So Avery, take it away.
Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about missions today from my own experience. About the time when I did missions in Montreal, Quebec, and Houston, Texas. And for those of you that don't know, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For those of you that don't know, the goal of missions is to bring people closer to Christ. And it kind of talks about this, and we're going to look at a verse in Mark. And it's in Mark chapter 16, verse 15. And it's Jesus talking to his disciples after he died and rose again. And so he says to them, go into the world and preach the gospel to all of creation. So last week and the weeks kind of before that, we were talking about what the gospel is and what the good news is. So he's telling them, like, tell them about me. Tell them about how I died for you, for your sins, and about just my message that I want people to know. And Jesus spent his time on earth telling everyone the gospel and teaching them how to have a relationship with God. But he cared for the poor, and he cared for those that were neglected, and he spent time with those who were considered outsiders, and he showed them love, and he showed them mercy and grace. And he asks us to serve people in our community the same way. And so I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about first when I went to Montreal. And this was with an organization called SOAR Montreal. And it was an organization that my church would kind of partner with every summer. And they would hold mission training opportunities in Montreal for any church that would be interested. So there would be youth groups from all over Canada, all over the States. And when I went, there were a few groups from Chile and from France. So there were a lot of people from all over the place, which is really cool. And when we were there, my youth group worked with a local church in the area. We handed out flyers inviting people to come to like their service. We got the church ready for the community. The particular church that we were in, it used to be an old theater, so there was still a lot of props and costumes from when it was used as a theater. So they had to clear everything out, and we got it ready for ministry and just for the community. We also handed out roses with Bible verses on them, and we gave them to women and moms in the area that were walking around. And we also made sandwiches and meals for the homeless. We were actually able to share Jesus with them and pray with them, which was really different for me because it was the first year that I had been a Christian. And I didn't know what I was doing. So it was very scary. Cause I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I share this? and how do I help these people? But it was very eye-opening, and it showed me how to look at people with the same level of humility that Jesus did, because he didn't judge. He didn't, oh, I'll just walk away. Like, he jumped right in when there was a need, and it was really inspiring. And we also did big group things with all the other groups that were there. So we did a big, what's the word? What word am I thinking of? Outreach day, where all the groups came at this huge tourist attraction. It's called Mount Royal. There's about 4 million people that visit a year. Quite a bit. And they gave us chalk and frisbees and all these different things, and we wrote Bible verses on the pavement. We threw frisbees and blew bubbles with tourists and their kids. We sang songs. There was like a random piano there on the pavement that I don't know if it's just there permanently, but we took advantage of it, and we sang worship songs, and we started conversations with these people that were watching. And towards the end, and this is probably the thing that sticks with me the most today, we had a worship service just in the middle of this tourist site. And it was so cool because it wasn't, just us and then everyone else. Like, it was all integrated. Everyone was singing and jumping, and it was very inviting environment. And families were just joining in with their kids, all these little kids just jumping around, and we were able to show through to people that maybe didn't know Jesus, the hope and joy and freedom that Jesus gives. And it was, maybe we didn't talk to them directly because there was a lot of people there. Maybe we didn't have the chance to just have a conversation with them, but from watching us, from joining in with us, it was I wonder what these people are all about. So it was really, really cool. And this particular missions trip, it was my first. I was 13.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it was probably the first time that God became really real to me, based off of like how I saw him change people and how I saw him start to change me. And it was so crazy. I still think about, I was getting so excited when I was writing this because I'm like, oh, there's so many good memories. But yeah, that's Montreal. That's what I did in Montreal. And so I wasn't going to share the next missions trip because I thought maybe I would have more to talk about just for Montreal, and we'll leave it at that and kind of give you the main idea of what missions is about. But then I realized that this next missions trip, it was very different. Still very fun, and I loved it, but yeah, it was very different, and not nearly as glamorous, if you will. And yeah, missions is not all fun, and it's not always all comfortable. And that's not to say that you can't find fun in doing, in serving people. You can make scrubbing a toilet fun if you want. Like, you can do that. But most times being on missions requires you to give up a lot of luxuries, and it gets you super out of your comfort zone. And that's definitely what this next missions trip did. And it was with an organization called Samaritan's Purse. And so what I did there, I went with my stepdad and a couple of other people from my church. And we went to Houston, Texas, where we repaired a home there that was damaged by a hurricane. And so I was about 15, 16 when I went. I don't know anything about repairing a house. I'm not going to be flipping homes anytime soon. But the house, it was so just wrecked. Like, it had been so damaged. Samaritan's Purse had to strip it completely down, there was no walls, there was no flooring, drywall, nothing. It looked like a complete skeleton. And when I was there, my job was to prime the ceilings of the entire house. So luckily,
Prime, like paint prime?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So luckily it was like a 1-story home.
Yeah.
Lucky for you or lucky for them?
Lucky for me. Oh my goodness. But it was, I was so sore. Cause
Yes.
Yeah.
your arms are always up in the air. And when I would be painting, you know, some of it would drip off into my hair, and I'd have like these paint freckles like all over my skin. And it's tough paint to get out. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Primer, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would come back and try and wash it all out, and it wouldn't work. And I also I learned how to put up siding.
Okay, yeah.
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 So that was fun, but I smashed my fingers with a hammer quite a few times. I kept missing the nail.
Okay.
I come back with primer in my hair, bruised fingers.
Bruised, smashed fingertips.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did a few other things that this is primarily what I did while I was there, but I did a few other little jobs. But yeah, this experience, it definitely really tested me because I didn't know what I was doing. It was new, and it was very difficult work and strenuous. We were there from sometimes 8 to 9 in the morning, from 5:30 in the afternoon. And the heat was absolutely unreal. It's August in Texas.
In Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
It gets hot there, and it was something that I didn't really expect. You know, being from Canada and just like
I mean, it's hot in Canada in August.
yeah,
but
but it's
especially hot in Texas.
it's a different type of heat.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was something that I had
mad
never.
hot,
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like humid there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the worst.
Yeah. It rained the one day, and
Which sometimes makes it worse.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I
It gets
just
so humid.
and I just assumed like I stood out in the rain. I just like sat there. I was like, oh. I'm so grateful for the rain, thinking it's gonna cool down and just be a nice cool day after. And it was even hotter. I was like, how can that even happen?
Okay. So in both cases, you were serving people. The first one seems more like you're getting out there telling others about Christ and having the service in the middle of in the street, which I think is so awesome.
Yeah.
And the other one took more of a very practical, we're going down to help someone rebuild their home.
Yeah.
So I guess missions can take a whole lot of different aspects, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we hear the word missions and we think we have to go away, but Avery has a few points that she wants to share with us, right?
Oh, yes.
But missions doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave your home. You can be a missionary right in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right in your backyard kind of thing, right? It doesn't mean you have to leave. Yes, God called some people to go to other countries, right? But many a times he calls us to be missions right in our own neighborhoods, in our own communities, helping and serving others.
Yeah. Especially like these days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely a lot of needs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll pass it back over to Avery. She had some really good points that she wanted to share with us about her experiences.
Yeah. So, kind of just jumping off of what I was saying before, like I kept having to remind myself why I was there, because it wasn't for me. It wasn't a vacation. I was there to help. I was there to, I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't go to lounge in the pool and then go shopping afterwards. Like I was there to help this lady fix up her home. And it reminded me that, Jesus never gave up because the work was hard and uncomfortable. He lived in sometimes very uncomfortable living situations. But overall, I did have a lot of fun on the trip in terms of like what I learned. And, it was very different than what I experienced in Montreal, but it was still very rewarding for both. But what does this mean for you guys? Like, why is missions important for you guys to learn about? So You guys know I always have my takeaways.
Takeaway.
I love my takeaways.
Chinese takeaway.
So my first one is missions can take all different missions can take all different types of forms as long as Jesus is in the center of them.
Mm-hmm.
So missions is serving. Jesus was a servant, so he doesn't. Missions work doesn't have to be this overcomplicated thing. It's super simple. It's serving. Jesus was a servant, and like Andre said, like this can be serving overseas, but it can also be serving in your city or in your community.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what we talked about last week with the Holy Spirit. I think the Spirit is a huge part of like figuring out what God's calling you to do, and whether it is some people, yeah, they are called overseas. Like I did a trip to Thailand and met some people who were there for long term, and like that was their calling, and that was great. But then there's other people that I've met who are like in their own backyard, they help out like just locally.
Yeah.
So it's just listening to the Holy Spirit and hearing what He's calling us to do in terms of missions. But yeah, like I completely agree. It doesn't have to be like far away.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and like that might look like, building a school or a hospital in Africa and teaching them about Jesus. There's a huge need for that in third world countries that don't have the same privilege as us. There's a huge need for that. Or it might look like volunteering in a local homeless shelter or a women's shelter or a prison in your city. Or in school, it might even look like helping a classmate in your school that may need help. So maybe they can't afford school supplies, or you notice that their shoes are falling apart and they don't have a good pair of shoes that they can wear, or they don't have a winter coat, and you're like, oh, I have a winter coat and clothes that I don't wear. I can give them this. You can do that. You can serve people. You can serve your neighbors. There's so many different ways that you can do it. You can help raise money and pray for those who are doing missions. I know right now it's hard. It's still possible, but it's a little bit harder to serve the community, and because of just everyone's so scared of COVID, and we can't gather and we can't do certain things, but raising money for people who are still doing missions and still over there, and praying for them as they're over there, like that's still something that we can all do.
Yeah, and also like helping our community too. Like if you have friends who are going through a hard time or frustrated with how things are, which a lot of people are frustrated right now, just send them an encouraging note or something like that. Actually, me and Lauren, we went on a bike ride last night. Brought a couple like Cokes and stuff, and like kind of sat in a park, and we were just talking about like our college experience, and we were like, we were part of a young adult group, and like we kind of when we were talking, we were like, honestly, the thing that would have probably influenced the people around us in our classes the most was if we were actually like, if we became friends with them and showed the love of God through just being friends and loving people around you. Sometimes we focus so much on getting people to church, but like if they don't see church in us first, then like what's the point? So yeah, showing the people around you love is a very good place to start too. Yeah,
and missions doesn't have to be an intimidating thing.
No,
right? I like what Jocelyn said here. I mean, we've heard this before. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called, right? So in other words, if God is calling you to do something, God is not a God that says, hey, Caleb, I want you to go do this impossible mission, and you're on your own. God doesn't operate like that. We talked about Gideon. We talked about Elijah. We talked about all of these different people that Abraham. These were people like
David.
Common, regular folks.
There's so many, like everyone pretty much in the Bible weren't really qualified.
And God gives the ability to overcome.
Yeah.
We are the ones that limit what God can do in our own lives. I used to go with a friend of mine. Every week we would go in this neighborhood of Aruba. I might have shared this before. Every week. And we would share to a lot of his friends that, because he used to do a lot of parties and a lot of different things. And we saw a lot of people come to Christ, and people that a lot of people wouldn't give a second look at, right?
Yeah.
And they were so grateful that someone even took the time to share Jesus with them. Does that make me better than them? Not by a long shot. But, and trust me, I was scared of my man. We're going into certain parts of town that was not the greatest, all right? But at the end of the day, our love for people through Christ overcame our fear, right? So, we talked a little bit about the fear of COVID and so forth. But one thing I tell my boys all the time, when you're stressed or when you're fearful, you don't always think straight or you don't always hear God, right? So one, we got to learn that God can overcome anything that comes our way. Yes, we need to be smart. Yes, we need to use wisdom. But if God is calling you into something and you're sure it's God, He's going to make a way to overcome any obstacles that might be in our way. You know, and I'm glad that, Avery's talking about doing this at 13. That's where a lot of us are at. Well, not us, but, some of our viewers are at very young age. And we think, oh, I'm too young to do these things. Well, no. Right?
Yeah.
We are not too young.
And honestly, like when you're younger, it's the time to actually like get experiences. Like try to like, honestly, like as humans, we learn through experience. We learn through like doing things. Right. So like, a while back I did a mission trip to Chicago and like that was like so it was part of a program where we did Chicago, we did Montreal, we did Thailand. So I thought going into it we were gonna go to Thailand. That was gonna be the big one. That's the one that could affect me the most. But honestly, it was Chicago. It was going to a place that was near home and seeing like people hurt, and like it like wrecked me. Yeah, like it just seeing that like. All these kids are going through stuff in my backyard, like, only not a few hours, but like, I don't know how long, 8, 10 hours. About there, but like so close to where I live that people are struggling and hurting. And like, that's like that was a huge influential part of my life. So like if you get a chance to take one of these experiences, definitely like I encourage you to do so.
Yeah. And so one of my other points is we can help out according to our gifts. So God gives us gifts to use. He doesn't want us to just not use them. He gave us them for a reason. And so if you love to tell jokes, go to a retirement home and brighten up their day. If you like to cook, go feed the homeless or invite people into your home, for a meal. You can, or if you're artistic, you can make a card for someone who is hurting and needs someone to brighten their day, or just someone who needs encouragement. Like you guys are, I haven't met any of you, but you guys are very talented. You are. And I think you guys can do pretty cool things, pretty creative things with this. Yeah,
for sure. And maybe it'd be cool, like once things open up a lot more and we can do things, like we could even like have a youth event where we go to Open Arms Mission, which is a place where like they give out free food to people who are hungry and need food and can't afford food. But yeah, that's if you can do it with your family, like volunteer with your family, you could definitely that's an opportunity, just like in Welland. But yeah.
All right.
Another point I have is actions speak louder than words. So I'm a big believer in this. So sometimes simply being a Christ-like example in someone's life is enough to make them curious about God and make them want to know more. So they might see you volunteering. They might see you, just being kind to someone, and it might make them think, well, why do you do that? Like, what's your motivation behind that? Like, what do you get out of this? They might think it's maybe a little bit weird, but it's enough to maybe get them curious. And through that, you can get a conversation about God and just, put the little bug in their ear. Like, this is, Jesus is why, this is, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. And yeah, it can really get a good conversation rolling. And then another point I have is missions is very much a team effort. So you may come up with like a really cool idea to serve other people, but you're not going to be able to do it alone. You're going to need support. We can't do everything by ourselves. We need God's guidance and a community of believers to back us up and help us out. And if there's no support, so this is more for overseas missions. So, if there's no support, no donating money, it makes it very hard to serve. And you may do, like Caleb said, you may do like missions with your family, a group of friends, your church. Like you're gonna need that support to make the mission possible. And so that's definitely something to keep in mind. And if this is something that you guys really feel led to do, we can point you in the right direction, or we can point you to someone who will be able to answer some questions if we can't.
Yeah, we're actually lucky to have I don't know if you I think, do they know Charmaine?
Sorry?
Do they know Charmaine at all?
Pastor
Some of them
Andrews,
would.
Yeah. Some of them might.
If you don't, there's this really great lady that we work with named Charmaine Stalp. She actually works for our denomination's global kind of section. So like she's a great person to talk to about missions if you do have any questions. One of the projects that she works with is a thing called Nepal Peace Project.
Yes.
Which, like, a lot of us we have the opportunity and the gift of having free education when we're kids. Like, so, right now, like when you go to school, like it's free education unless you're paying for private education, obviously. But these kids in Nepal don't have that gift. So there's a program that she works with that's called the Nepal Peace Project, which basically will pay for these kids to go to school and pay for paper and pens and all that kind of thing, and also give these kids like a meal. So that's a really cool opportunity. Maybe you don't have time to do any things like in your area, but maybe you have some money that you want, or maybe if some friends of yours want to kind of contribute some money to maybe like pay for this one of these kids to actually go to school. That's another really cool opportunity.
Yeah, there's a ton of things you guys can do.
Yeah.
All right, so we just want to kind of wrap things up with that thought and just put a bug in your ear, right? Any one of us or all of us are called to be missions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Missionaries in our own right. So whether it's overseas, whether it's in our schools, whether it's in our neighborhoods, it's all about serving, and it's all for the honor and glory of God, right? So don't think you are doing anything too small that does not bring God glory. So long as you're doing it for the honor and glory of God, you're a missionary.
Yeah.
Right? And at the end of the day, the end goal is to bring people to that realization that they need Christ. Right? So whether we show it in our lives or whether we're actually going out there and telling them and so on, it's important that we live the life like Avery was saying. Action speaks louder than words. So if I'm saying I love Jesus, He's my everything. And then, someone comes to me and like, could you get away from me? We're not showing the love of Christ. That's not our actions, right? Showing that we love Christ. We were talking a big talk, but we're not living it. So we want to encourage you guys with that. So Avery's going to just close off in prayer. And then we're going to end our night tonight with a cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just one last thing too. If you're wondering like what you should be doing, don't feel like you can't just ask God to show those opportunities.
Yes.
Because again, going back to last week of the Holy Spirit, that's why the Holy Spirit's there, to nudge you into the right direction. So yeah.
It's a good point. Okay. Dear Jesus, we just thank you for tonight. We thank you for everyone who logged on and is watching. We just ask that if there's any way that you want us to serve, any particular way, whether that be serving overseas or doing something in our community, God, you've each given us a gift, and we just ask that you would show us how you want us to serve people, how you want us to reach people and just show them your love and your grace and your kindness and forgiveness. We ask that we would just be lights in our community and be able to encourage people, and just fill a need when there is one. You've called us to just be neighbors to people, and to just help when there is a need, and we just ask that you would show us and help us to do that. It feels a little discouraging with COVID, but there's still ways that we can help. We just have to get a little bit more creative, and we just ask that you would show us that and show us how we can do that. And we just ask you in your holy name. Amen.
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 All right. So thank you, Avery, for just giving us a little bit of, your experiences when it comes to missionary. So we're going to play this one game called Oh Brother.
Oh, brother.
So this has a lot to do with a lot of brothers in the Bible. All right? Simple as that. A lot of different brothers in the Bible. So we're going to ask these questions how we went a little over, right? So we're going to see how it goes. But we're going to give 2 points for each round. And if it's a tougher one, we give more points. But for tonight, we have our Tim Hortons gift card that's on the line to the winner of tonight's challenge.
And how much money is that?
$5.
$5.
$5.
Wow.
$5. So without any further ado, we're going to ask those questions. You guys would have a chance to say whether it's 1, 2, or 3. And if time permits, we'll go into our bonus round.
Ooh. Okay.
All right.
Shall we do it?
Shall we? We shall.
Okay, here we go. So everyone's never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
first question. So it's all about brothers, all right? Because you know what? We're in the missions. Everyone should be like our brother or sister.
Yes.
All right. Cain had 2 brothers. One was Abel. What was the other one's name? Was it A or 1, Enoch, 2, Seth, or 3, Ammon? So you have to say 1, 2, or 3, or you can put the actual answer if you like. This one is worth 2 puntos. Justin says, bring it. There's only one lead on tonight. Is Lauren on tonight?
I don't know. I haven't seen her yet. She was a bit sleepy when I got home.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
when she got home, actually, sorry, from work. So maybe she's passed it.
No,
Oh,
she's
there
there.
she is.
Oh, hey, Lauren.
Finally.
So if the leaders win it tonight, it goes back into the pot and it gets it raises for the next time. So we have a few answers. Isaiah says it's Seth. Lauren says it's Seth. Brady says it's Seth. Josh says it's Seth. Xavier and Ember says it's Amnon. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds. This one is worth 2 puntos, or 2 points. And because we're short on time, we're going to probably run through these a little quicker than usual.
Pretty quick.
All right. So the correct answer is
Seth.
Oh.
Seth was the 3rd brother. So those of you that didn't know that, it was Cain, Abel, and Seth. Cain killed Abel, and Seth was the 3rd kid.
He was a good kid.
All right. Next question, please. So that last one was worth 2 points.
Oh,
Yes.
This one,
So this one is a little tougher.
harder.
This one is worth, this one is worth 2 points as well. It's not as tough, but yeah.
Dusty Lucky. and
These
Meg.
3 brothers helped their dad, Noah, build a ginormous ship or ark. All right. These 3 brothers helped their dad, Noah, build a ginormous ship. Right? Is it 1, Shem, Ham, and Japheth? Is it 2, Dusty, Lucky, and Ned? Or is it 3, Enoch? Also Isaac,
Isaac.
Enoch, or Joel?
Isaac.
Isaac. All right. Which of these 3 brothers helped their dad build a ginormous ship? So Jocelyn, Xavier, and Lauren says it's Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Isaiah says it's Isaac, Enoch, and Joel.
I'm feeling like it's 4.
None of the above.
None of the above.
All right. Any other takers out there? Emma says 1. I know this book. I know I know this from a book I read based on the Bible.
Nice.
Well, it's
Very
not only
nice.
based on the Bible, it's in the Bible. All right. Brady says 1 as well. All right. Give you guys a few more seconds to lock those answers in. This one is also worth 2 points. Dos puntos.
I think we're boring, Carol.
No, I'm just tired. I'm beat.
All right. So the right answer is Shem,
Number 1.
Ham, and Japheth.
Man, the leaders are killing it.
Leaders are killing it.
Crushing it.
All right. Let's move
Okay,
to the
here we
second
go.
one.
Second one, third one.
Third one. Sorry, my bad.
Here we go.
Right. This one is worth 4 points.
Ooh, going
4 points.
Woo!
What were the names of Abraham's 2 brothers? 4 points. What was the name of Abraham's 2 brothers?
This is a tricky one.
Is it A, or 1, Joseph and Benjamin? Is it 2, Cole and Dylan? Is it 3, Nahor and Haran?
Well, Jeff and Jesse.
Jeff and Jesse? Or Andy and Andre? Right. This one is worth 4 points, people. What were the names of Abraham's 2 brothers? Was it 1, Joseph and Benjamin?
Come
was
on,
it 2,
Lauren.
Cole and Dylan? Or was it 3, Nahor and Haran?
Did you make this?
What's that?
Did you make this?
No, I didn't make this one, but I knew the answers of all of these actually. Oddly enough, I'm I like history and stuff like that in the Bible.
Is Joshua a book of the Bible, though?
Whatever.
Yes, Andy's had a bit of a rough week.
All right, so lots of people saying 3, Nahor and Haran. Are they right? Okay, let's lock that answer in. And the correct answer is Nahor and Haran. So if you said Nahor and Haran, you are unequivocally correct.
Way to go, Lauren.
So it looks like we're going to run out of time today, but we will ask one more question,
Yes.
and then we're going to lock everyone's points in, and Avery's going to write them down for next week.
Oh, okay.
So she didn't have a pen. There you go.
I don't have a paper either.
Okay. All right. So this is the last one for tonight, and we're going to continue this into next week, and we're going to raise the stakes to $10.
Ooh.
All right. Next question is, what were the names of Joseph's 2 sons who grew up in Egypt? Right? What were the names of Joseph's 2 sons that grew up in Egypt? This is worth 2 points. Is it Azariah and Mishael? Is it 2, Ephraim and Manasseh? Or is it 3, Nick and Joe?
Crabby Joe.
What's that?
Crabby Joe.
Crabby Joe.
Oh, man. They don't
Remember,
have
the
them
last
here.
one was worth 4 points. If you got the last one right, that's 4 points.
Yes.
This one is worth 2 points. And we will end it with this tonight. Hold on to those points.
To be continued.
To be continued next week, where we're going to double the pot.
Yes. Huge.
All right, so Isaiah right off the bat says it's Ephraim and Manasseh. Ember's asking, Joseph got married? Yes, he did, in Egypt. He was second in command in Egypt, and he had 2 boys, which ultimately got adopted by his father Israel. Jocelyn says 1, Azariah and Mishael.
Lauren says 1 as well. So
All
the
right.
leaders are sticking together.
Leaders are sticking together. Brady says
We'll see
2, Ephraim and Manasseh.
We'll see if that helps them out. And then-
Adela says 2, Ephraim and Manasseh. I thought this would have been an easy one. Probably because I read so much of the Old Testament. I don't know. Ember says 1, Azariah and Mishael.
Definitely mixed across the board.
Yeah,
It's either
yeah,
1 or 2. I don't know why they're not picking 3.
I mean, there was a Joe, I think.
Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, that might have been. It
It
might have
could
been a
Joe Jr.
Joe Jr.
Joe
Who knows?
Jr. Joseph Jr.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Johnson says too late. All right. If you said 1, you are absolutely unequivocally wrong. The
Oh,
correct
shoot.
answer is Ephraim and Manasseh. So you
Way
had
to
those
go,
two
Lauren
boys in
and
Egypt.
and Jocelyn.
So let's see what the standings are so we can jot them down for next week.
Yeah.
So the good thing is those of you that tuned in tonight already have kind of an advantage into next week.
Yeah. It's true.
So let's see what the point standings are. This last one was worth 2 points.
Yeah. I know the leaders didn't do so well.
No, Jocelyn has 8. That last one was worth 2 points. Ember has 6 points.
Lauren only has 8 now, too.
Xavier has 2 points. Xavier's not doing too hot in this one. Brady has 10 points. Lauren has 8 points. Adela has... I have not seen Adela's points yet.
She got it.
I know she got this, so she should have around 10 points as well.
Yeah.
So she is tied with Brady, I believe. Adela has 10 points. Yep. Isaiah has 8 points. It's still anyone's game. Still a very close
very
game.
close.
But because we went a little bit over, we couldn't do the full gambit. So we're going to finish up next week.
Yes.
So without any further ado, we're going to switch over and talk a little bit about our memory verse for this month, which is from Joshua. I had to think about that for a second. Joshua chapter 24, verse 15.
I guess it's not anymore.
What's that?
I guess it's not anymore the memory verse for this month.
No, well, because it's the Tuesday. So, yeah. So, this is the last time for this month.
The very last.
Yes. And then we're going to have a new one from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. But
Here we go.
But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. That's from Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. All right. So we're going to wrap things up here. We want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're going to continue with this game next week. I just want to give a quick shout out to Xavier and Isaiah. I'm being a little partial. They're my boys. But their birthdays this week. Tomorrow it's Isaiah's.
Wasn't it your birthday a few days ago too?
I don't celebrate my birthday. and Xavier's on. Sorry, Xavier is tomorrow, and Isaiah is on Saturday. So
Wow.
yeah, within 3
There you
days
go.
of each other. Makes very easy planning. It's the one big party. All right, so we want to say happy birthday to you boys. If I missed anyone's birthday, I'm so sorry. Let me know. Right?
Email us.
Or email us. Yes.
Email us.
All right. So we just want to encourage you guys. We talked about missions. Let's get out there. Let's be God's representatives to others, to the world.
Yeah.
The world is a sad, sometimes dark place, and people need the love of Jesus and the light of Christ. Right? So let's be the light to the world. Let's be the salt of the earth, and let's show others the love of Christ. So this is Andre
This is Caleb.
and
This is Avery.
and this was The Rise Online signing out. Hope to see you guys next week. God bless.